To me, to you, to me, to you. Don't watch Salty's Lighthouse. Watch Tugs. Ka-ching! Hello everyone, it is I, Mark S.W, and welcome to the second part of kids TV shows that I used to watch. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing my glasses, it's because today's a very glary day, so these are just to protect my eyes. So for those of you who missed part one, what I'm doing is I'm going through some TV shows that I used to watch when I was a kid, and that maybe you want to watch, or maybe you know some kids that may want to watch them. I know a lot of you enjoyed part one, so a quick shout out to you guys. I'm showing all your comments. Thank you so much for your kind reviews. So be sure to check out part one, and if you've already seen it, then in part two, what I'm going to do is mention some shows that are game shows, some DIY shows, a few scary shows, and international shows. That's shows from other countries. If you're looking forward to this trip down memory lane, do give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you know the next time when I post a new video. Like I mentioned in part one, I can't show any actual clips, but I can do screenshots, and there may be some spoiler alerts. As usual, the list is on my phone, and I'm starting with game show 50/50. For this game show, 50/50 is two different schools going head to head in physical challenges and general knowledge quizzes to see which school is the best. Each school is represented by 50 kids, hence the title 50/50. The games they play, as I mentioned, physical challenges, so lots of obstacle courses and some general knowledge quizzes, and sometimes they also watch music videos and have to answer true or false questions. Next game show is one of my personal favourites, Get Your Own Back. With this show, if a child has an adult who's bossy, annoying, embarrassing, or just horrible, then this is the show where they can get their own back, hence the title, you see. The idea is the kids are trying to score lots of points and the adults are trying to stop them from scoring the points, because the kid with the highest point is allowed to throw their adult into a big pool of slimy gunge. I loved this show because I knew one or two adults who deserved a good gunging. The show has always been presented by Dave Benson Phillips, and a bit of a fun fact, he was one of many presenters of an old children's show called Playdays. And then later in the series he had a co-presenter called Lisa Brockwell. Another favourite game show is Bamzooki. I recommend this if you're into Robot Wars. The BBC had this software that kids can download, and they can make CGI creatures called Zooks. Then they could enter 4 Zooks and compete with other Zooks to see which one is the best. It's kind of like Robot Wars because some of the challenges and games they play are kind of like the ones that they used to have in the early episodes of Robot Wars, so like the Gauntlet, Pinball and Sumo, things like that. What's even more brilliant is the way they show the Zooks, the way they're playing the games. It's like a sort of hologram display. It really is creative, a real good use of virtual software. And if you think Bamzooki is impressive, then you should check out Raven, another impressive game show. I recommend this if you're into like the fantasy genre, so you know, things like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia. This one is about a half-man, half-bird called Raven, who's training 6 children to become ultimate warriors to help fight against his arch-enemy, Neva, and his demon servants. This game show, it really tests the contestants' bravery and courage. Now, some of the challenges these game shows do, they are very dangerous, so you shouldn't try them yourself. There's some that are safe to do. Now, those shows I've mentioned are mainly from CBBC. There are some CITV game shows as well. I think the ones I mainly remember are Funhouse, Jungle Run, Scary Sleepover, and Rescue Robots. A lot of the BBC game shows are on YouTube, and I think there are some from CITV that are up there as well. Though there are quite a lot of game shows that are very, very rare to find. If you can find them, then I'll buy you a beer. So moving on to the DIY shows, you know, the art, the creativity, I think people on YouTube call them life hacks, or something like that. There are two shows that involve arts and crafts, one from BBC called Smart, and the other from CITV, Art Attack. So these two shows, they're basically tutorials on how to do artwork, make models, and they also do like big artworks on location. With Smart, their mascot, you could say, is Morph, a little plasticine character created by Aardman, the same people who created Wallace and Gromit. Another DIY show you might want to have a look at, if you're into like playing pranks and jokes on people, you may want to take a look at Prank Patrol. Originally it was from Canada, but there is a UK version. Barney and his ninja team help children to play pranks on other people, really big pranks. So for example, there's one episode where there's a girl called Jasmine, and she wants to prank her best friend by using magic tricks to make her believe that she has magical powers. The reactions are just pure gold. So if you're looking for ideas to play pranks on people, this is the show that you can use for research. Next category we'll look at are the scary shows, little creepy ones. I've got two in mind. The first one is the Demon Headmaster, which is based on a series of books by Julian Cross. The series is about a man, we don't know his real name, we don't even know if he's a human or an alien, but he wants to control the world, and he can do this by taking off his glasses and hypnotizing people. Look into my eyes. The first time we see him, he's the headmaster of a school, hence his nickname, the Demon Headmaster. The only thing that's standing in his way from conquering the Earth is 5 children who can't be hypnotized. They formed a friendship group called Splat, the Society for the Protection of Our Lives Against Them. There is a 6th member of Splat, Dinah Hunter. Unfortunately, she is not immune to the headmaster's hypnotic powers, but she is very clever, and I mean very clever. There are 3 seasons, and the episodes are based on 4 books. And the second scary show you might want to have a look at is Jeopardy. No, not that Jeopardy, this is a different Jeopardy. There we go. A school teacher and 8 teenagers from Scotland travel to Australia to search for aliens and UFOs, which unfortunately goes horribly wrong. Spoiler alert, at the end of series 1, the tour guide and 2 of the teenagers go missing, and at the end of series 3, the finale, only 2 teenagers remain, and the whole series ends on a cliffhanger. We'll never know what happens next. I do confess both me and my brother were on the edge of our seats for the series finale. Talking of Australia, we'll now move on to the international shows that I watched, and a good one to start with. If you like Stingray, then you may want to take a look at Ocean Girl. When it was shown in the UK, they renamed it to Ocean Odyssey. I have no idea why. The series is about a girl called Neri, who is a bit like Marina from Stingray. She's actually a mermaid who can swim underwater without any breathing equipment. The only difference is that she comes from another planet, she can talk, and she has telepathy. She can communicate with a whale that she calls Charlie. Neri lives on an island somewhere in the South Pacific, but she's not alone. She does have friends, some kids who live in an underwater complex called Orca, the Ocean Research Centre of Australia. Most of their adventures involve protecting the ocean, finding out about Neri's past, stopping an alien invasion, but mainly fighting a Russian organisation called UBRI. Other Australian shows you may want to have a look at are, for younger kids, there's Johnson and Friends, which is a bit like Toy Story. Johnson is a stuffed elephant, and the series is all about him and his friends, like Macduff, who's a concertina, and Diesel, who's a toy truck. Another Australian show, I think this is one of my brother's favourites, Around the Twist. It's all about a family who live in a lighthouse, and there are strange things that happen. In fact, Strange Things, that's part of the music for the title. Have you ever felt like this? How strange things happen, are you going round the twist? It's very catchy. And finally, you might want to have a look at the Jupiter franchise. There's Escape from Jupiter and Return to Jupiter. It's a sci-fi Australian series. I've been meaning to rewatch the series for a while. I think episodes are on YouTube, I'd need to have a look. So now we'll move on to American TV shows. There's quite a lot that are shown here in the UK, but I've picked some of my favourites. So starting with a couple of cartoons, first one is Botsmaster. This is ideal if you're into things like robots, and high-tech vehicles, computers, and explosions, and 3D. The series is about a young scientist called Ziv Zoolander and his boys, brain-operated young zygotopic Zoids, and they're fighting a company called the RM Corp, Robotic Megafat Corporation, and its chairman, Sir Louis Leon Paradin. Paradin wants to take over the world. To do this, he's created some computer chips called Krang chips. If they are installed into every robot around the world, then he'll reprogram them so they obey his orders and he'll use them to take over the world. And he's not alone. He does have his two associates, the devious Dr. Hiss and the sexy Lady Frenzy. So Ziv Zoolander, or ZZ for short, and his little sister Blitzy and their boys are building lots of battle bots and high-tech equipment to help fight the Corp. My brother loved this series too. It's the catchphrase was the best. Laser time, boys! Another American cartoon that both me and my brother liked, The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest. I am aware there is an original series, but this is the Jonny Quest series that my brother and I were brought up on. For those of you who've never seen it, it's all about a boy called Jonny Quest, and he and his friends and his father, they solve mysteries. It's not like Scooby-Doo. They investigate more interesting mysteries and legends. Now, although it's a cartoon series, it's also a CGI series if they involve Quest World, which is a virtual reality software. So in virtual reality, they become CGI people. If you watch this series, do please keep in mind that the CGI, it's basic, but for its time, the 90s, it was very impressive. I mean, I was impressed. I also watched a lot of American comedy series, mainly the sitcoms. So the ones I mainly remember are Sabrina the Teenage Witch, That's So Raven, Kenan and Kel, and Muppets Tonight. They were my favourites. The next country, Japan, and hands down, it's Pokémon. I love Pokémon. I saw the TV series first before I recognised the games. I think we all know what Pokémon is. It's all about Pokémon trainer Ash Ketchum and his adventures with his Pokémon partner Pikachu. I think the very first Pokémon episode I saw is the one where Ash captures Krabby. I know a lot about the Pokémon from the Kanto region. The Johto region, I'm pretty good. Hoenn and Sinnoh, getting there. And as for the other regions, I know absolutely nothing about them. Which Pokemon would I choose first? Depending on which region I'm in. So if it was Kanto, I'd go for Charmander. I love Charmander, that's my favourite. There are two other Japanese shows that you might want to have a look at. I didn't see them on TV, but I did see them on YouTube. These were made in the 80s. In Japan, they are big Gerry Anderson fans, and these two shows, they do have a Gerry Anderson theme to them. So the first one is Thunderbirds 2086. This is an anime series. Originally it was called Techno Voyage, but when it was dubbed, they renamed it to Thunderbirds 2086. I think the reason was the show involved 17 vehicles, each had a TB and then a number on. It's possible that the TB could have stood for something else, so when it was dubbed, people thought, why not just call them Thunderbirds? So it is kind of like Thunderbirds. It's about a team that rescue people. Only the machines they're using are different from, of course, the original Thunderbirds, and some of them are big, and I mean really big. There are some episodes where they have to rescue some spaceships that are about 1 mile long. That's how big we're talking about. All the Thunderbirds 2086 episodes are on YouTube. I think Chris Dale from the Gerry Anderson podcast Randomizer uploaded them, so go and take a look at his channel. Fun fact about Thunderbirds 2086, or Fab Fact, in the dubbed version, there's actually some music from some of the Anderson shows, mainly Stingray, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Joe 90, UFO, and Space 1999. Mainly because it was around that time that the Super Space Theatre project was in full swing. The other Japanese series with an Anderson feel to it is Starfleet, aka X-Bomber. This one is a puppet series. It's kind of like a cross between Star Wars and a Disney princess movie. It's all about a giant battlecruiser called X-Bomber who's defending the Earth from an alien force known as the Imperial Alliance. One of the members, Commander Makara, she's trying to get her hands on something or someone called F-01. I do confess there are some episodes that I want to ask so many questions, and there are 2 episodes you might want to give a miss because they're actually clip shows. But it's actually got some charm to it, it's quite entertaining. And that concludes the second part of kids shows that I watched. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll check out some of the shows that I've mentioned. I could be here for hours talking about the kids shows that I watched, because I do confess they don't make kids shows like they used to. Like I said, if you haven't seen part 1, do go and take a look at that. And also leave a comment down below if you've seen any of the TV shows that I've seen, or if there's a TV show that you've seen. I know a lot of you will probably say, will there be a part 3? I'm not sure. Maybe, but not right now. Maybe sometime in the future. But I hope you've enjoyed the 2 parts though. If you have enjoyed this 2-parter, do give both videos a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icons so you know when I upload another video. Hopefully you'll take a look at the shows that I've mentioned, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about them. So thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Over and out.